Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Deck, and if you enjoy talking about movies in any way, shape or form, you're going to feel right at home here. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing Alma Har'el's latest film, Honey Boy.
In case you fail. In case it don't work out. Yes, man. She's filling your head full of fear. I pump you full of strength. Because we're on a team, and I know you got what it takes. You're a star, and I know it. That's why I'm here. I'm your cheerleader, honey boy.
So I first heard about Honey Boy when it debuted back at Sundance of 2018, or it might be 2019. And for me, Honey Boy was a movie that I was instantly kind of interested in because I'm a big fan of Shia LaBeouf. I kind of grew up with Shia LaBeouf, especially because, as you guys know, probably my favorite movie franchise of all time is the Transformers movies. I grew up with those movies, and I grew up with Shia LaBeouf as Sam Witwicky. And as time's gone on in more recent years, of course, Shia LaBeouf has kind of gone a bit crazy, and we've kind of seen that, story play out, if you will. And when it was announced that this movie was going to sort of be being made, being brought to theaters about Shia LaBeouf's life story, I just couldn't help but be interested and be engaged to see what this story was, especially because this was written by Shia himself. He wrote this when he was in rehab, and he just decided to write a screenplay based on his life as a young child actor, his relationship with his father, and how that affected him in later life as an adult actor. And I was very interested to see that story, and now I've actually seen the movie, which I know I'm a little late to this review, very late actually, but now that I've actually seen the movie, it's kind of crazy what life Shia LaBeouf has had. Now, what is really at the core of Honey Boy is the performances right in the middle, which is from Noah Jupe, who plays Otis, who is the sort of young Shia LaBeouf, and also you have Shia LaBeouf himself playing a interpretation of his father, and them two together were just incredible to watch because they just have this dynamic where Noah Jupe, who we've seen in many things before, like A Quiet Place and Ford v Ferrari, he's a very talented young actor. And in this, he's playing this child actor who's so dedicated to the craft. He's so dedicated. He wants to become an actor. It's all he wants. And he's getting quite big gigs at this point. And he also has this feeling of loneliness because he does live with his father, played by Shia LaBeouf. But he has this distant relationship with him. They're not quite the typical father and son dynamic that you expect. And also, he is an ex-con. He doesn't actually work. He actually gets money from his own son. Like, Otis pays his own father, his wages so that they can live, which is a really crazy thing. And I think that the way that Noah Jupe is able to play that is brilliant. He plays it so brilliantly, and it's very emotional, and he plays it with such sincerity that I totally bought into it. And Shia LaBeouf playing an interpretation of his own father is an incredible performance. He's so into this, and what's brilliant is that obviously this is such a personal story for Shia. Like, this is him just recounting his own life and his own experiences, so he can play this exactly how it was done, and you can feel that personality, you can feel that connection, you can feel that emotion connected to the role, and he really felt like he just delved deep. He wanted to do this right, not only do right by his father, but also just do right by the story and show it in all the little details, and I thought that was a really good way of doing it. And the other standout performance for me in this movie is Hedges, who plays the older Otis, or the older Shia LaBeouf. And this amazed me, because as soon as he stepped on screen and he started talking, it was just Shia. Like, if I had closed my eyes, I was convinced that was Shia LaBeouf. The way he was talking, the way he was structuring his sentences, the way he was slurring his words in a certain way, it just, as again, someone who's a big fan of Shia LaBeouf, I've seen him in many different interviews, just hearing him talk and stuff like that, he nailed the way that Shia LaBeouf acts and talks. I was absolutely blown away by what Hedges does in this movie with that performance. Hedges isn't in the movie as much as Noah Jupe is, but when he is on screen playing the adult version of Shia, it's incredible what he does with his voice and also his mannerisms to really portray that adult Shia LaBeouf. Also, I think the movie from a direction standpoint has a lot of really interesting things going for it, because this is directed by Alma Har'el, who is typically known for doing music videos, and of course we do know that Shia LaBeouf in the last few years has kind of delved into the music world in the sense that he has been doing some music videos, like he was in Shia's music video for Electric Heart and stuff like that. So he's obviously gotten this connection with Alma Har'el through doing those sorts of things, and I think bringing in a director like that to helm a movie like this was really interesting because it just creates this almost music video-like flair. I do feel like this movie, from a direction standpoint and also a cinematography standpoint, does feel music video-esque, and I think that was really clever because it just makes this movie feel unique and feel different and stand out from other films because it just has this different sensibility to it, which I didn't expect but really liked. My only negative with Honey Boy is that I do feel like the movie, while it does have a great screenplay on the whole, doesn't quite know how to end. The movie just kind of ends on a note that, while it is final, it does also feel a bit on the nose. It's a bit like wink to the audience moment. It's a bit self-referential, and I don't have a problem with the movie being meta, but it was a bit too meta of a note for the movie to end on. It just felt like it was almost breaking the fourth wall, which the movie had done a very good job of portraying this very realistic interpretation of Shia's life. And then you just have this really weird moment at the end, which, you know, they kind of had to have an ending for the movie, and they just sort of went, well, we'll go with that. And again, it's not terrible or anything, it's just a bit distracting, and for the very final shot of the movie, it kind of took me out of it, which, given the fact I was so invested in this film the entire way through, to be taken out right at the last second was a bit of a bummer. Overall, though, I thought Honey Boy was fantastic. Again, I've been looking forward to this movie and looking forward to watching this movie for a very long time. Ever since I first heard about it in Sundance, I was very interested to see it, and I finally got to watch it this week, thanks to HMV releasing this exclusive Blu-ray here in the UK, because this got released nowhere around here. But I was very excited to finally sit down and watch the film, and now that I have, I could definitely say that the movie was top-notch. I was very impressed, particularly all the performances. This is very much an actor's kind of movie, with Shia Labeouf and Noah Jupe and Lucas Hedges all doing absolutely incredible work, and the screenplay just felt so intimate and personal. You know, Shia wrote this himself, this was about his life, and you could feel that personal connection to it. This was all him, and I love that. And also Har'el's direction and the cinematography, it just made this movie feel very different and very unique, which I really appreciated. And for a movie like this, it kind of needed that extra flair to really make it a bit more enjoyable, and I think the movie has that in spades. So I think The Honey Boy was a really great film. I was really impressed with it, and with that said, I'm going to give Honey Boy a 4 out of 5. I think the movie's really good. As I said, the performances are incredible across the board, and I think from a production value standpoint, the movie's great. It's just the ending is a bit dodge, and I think the movie could have done it in a different way, but for the most part, the movie's great, and I had a fantastic time watching it. So have you guys seen Honey Boy? If you have, make sure to let me know all your thoughts about it in the comment section down below. Did you enjoy it, or were you not really a fan of it? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. And as always, guys, if you want to see more movie reviews and movie-related videos just like this one, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any uploads from me, and I hope to see you guys again next time.